This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. The weekly dive in the latest TV news and reviews.
Yep, that's right.
I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and weird voice best friend, Stairmaster. Oh, hey, Stair.
Oh, geez, hey, Swanson.
Yeah, this is just your regular voice.
Yeah. Why don't we go bowling and then we can have some milkshake? Honk, honk.
Oh, well, that sounds fun. And
what a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, and that voice you heard is our other co-host and spoiled son of the mayor, Kyorain.
I'm gonna be the treasurer.
Yeah, sure are, pal.
Gee,
I thought you were gonna make him Patty.
Well, no, I wouldn't do that to Kyorain. I feel like I often default to making Kyorain the female.
Yeah,
That is the dynamic of your relationship.
That's an interesting take on that.
You're the C-man.
I would have liked to have made Kyorain the Mr. Dink, but he is barely in these episodes we watched.
Yeah.
Well,
fuck?
I would have been really offended if you had made me that guy.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into why we're doing this particular thing in a little bit, but things are going great in the quarantine currently. We're all having a great time. I've bought a stockpile of guns that I'm keeping behind me in case of intruders.
Yeah,
I've got a garden hose stuck in my shoulder.
Oh, for any particular reason? Like, were you gardening?
No, someone tried to kill me for my beans.
Yeah. Beans are a hot commodity right now.
Yeah.
It was toilet paper, and now it's beans.
Yeah,
I used up all my toilet paper assembling Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, you'll do that.
Yeah, I bought a stockpile of these ventilators, and I'm now reselling them at 3 times the price.
Oh wow! You're making
Mr. Deals here.
Yeah, you're making a profit.
And I've got my personal bodyguard Slicer here with me.
And he's called Slicer. Why?
He's got like 2 knives.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, and he slices you with them.
This explains why you've been talking to the Trump administration so much lately.
Yeah, are you this mysterious Joe Pizza we've been hearing so much about?
Well, listen, I'm not Joe Pizza, but I am in talks with him for some pharmaceutical-related business.
Oh, okay.
Q is actually Jonathan Hot Dog.
Oh, his rival.
Hey, Stairmaster, I think I'm gonna have Slicer come over and have a chat with you about revealing identities.
Listen, as long as you're not Jimmy Donuts, it's all good.
Look, Slicer can try. Many have already.
That's true.
I doubt he will be the last.
So somebody has already broken that perfect skin of yours.
That's a weird way of referring to Stairmaster's skin.
Oh my. I thought you'd be more concerned about my broken bones.
Well, you described a gardening implement being in your shoulder.
Yeah.
So you're not invincible like you say.
Oh yeah, Stair does like to say he's invincible almost every episode of the show.
He said he's got
I'm invincible!
He says he's got the perfect, glorious body, and he's unstoppable. And
I have been blessed by the gods, and I do possess a mandate to rule over all that is under heaven.
Yeah, that's strange. You keep saying that you're gonna rule a city-state someday.
I will create my perfect society.
Okay, you say
all
this, but
one is gone.
This is really undercut by the fact that you were attacked by somebody with just a gardening tool.
Yeah, well, what happened to that guy?
Well, he got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I got him.
Well, apparently he got you so bad that you couldn't even get it out.
Oh, this hurts.
Why don't you pull it out?
Because it hurts!
It's gonna get infected,
Well, no, I got the perfect body. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Get ready in the shop pretty soon. We're gonna have Stairs "I'm Invincible" T-shirt for sale.
It's just gonna be my face superimposed on the guy from GoldenEye.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, perhaps you'll like to subscribe.
What?
Please do.
That's right. You can subscribe on any podcatcher of your choice: Apple Podcast, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, and more.
Okay, I've got an important question for the two of you.
Yeah.
And this is going to get cut really personal, and I hope you guys don't get upset by me asking this, but how much satisfaction do you guys get from mashing the subscribe button?
Oh, maximum.
I get that little twinge of serotonin.
Yeah.
When I see it light up.
Yeah, I'm actually subscribed to 1,000 podcasts because I can't stop.
Oh.
Yeah, my doctor says if I keep hitting subscribe, there's going to be problems in my life.
You will no longer be able to feel pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like an overload of your pleasure senses.
He says that my dopamine receptors are going to get completely burnt out.
Yeah.
You'll be like that rat with the button and all the science experiments.
Yeah, the rat that died.
Yeah.
Oh, Pete Buttigieg.
Peace, rat. Yeah. Well, not rest in peace then.
No, yeah. Anyway, you can also, if you already subscribed, why not consider giving us a 5-star review? Helps us get noticed, and we'd be pretty appreciative about it. And we're also on Twitter, if that's a place where you like to hang out. You can find us at TV Tuners. Or use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll give a glance at what you're saying.
And that's one wacky account that's going on there.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff going on. Some of it, potentially, to deal with TV.
Mostly.
Well, there was a really important tweet that we should probably discuss when we get to the Tweet of the Week segment.
Well, it's time for the Tweet of the Week segment.
Oh, well, perfect timing. Okay.
All right. Today's Tweet of the Week, this week, comes from user at NewBimu.
Okay.
Okay.
Who wrote, "Why the fuck orders 10 glazed hams in April?"
Why?
Why the fuck? Okay.
So who's the subject of this question?
I think why is the subject.
No, why is the beginning of the question. Who's this?
Someone's ordering the 10 glazed hams.
Is the fuck the one ordering the glazed hams?
Yeah.
No, that's like an adjective. That's a superlative to the why.
No.
Read the tweet again. Hold on. Read the tweet.
Why the fuck orders 10 glazed hams?
Yeah. Okay, so the fuck orders 12 glazed hams.
Yeah, and they're asking why they did that.
So some mysterious figure known as the fuck called in and ordered 12 glazed hams.
10 glazed hams.
10 glazed hams, presumably for Easter, but who knows?
I mean, it's April, the month of Easter.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm not sure what the confusion is for April, because I think a glazed hams isn't super unusual for an Easter feast, right?
So what you're saying?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is this Twitter user is a stupid bitch who doesn't know what she's talking about.
I wouldn't. Well, I'm not Joe Biden, so
off.
I wouldn't say that. But
well, what I'm trying to figure out though is from what position is Catherine observing?
yeah,
the situation?
Does she work at like the ham factory, like some sort of ham dispensary?
Is she going ham, perhaps?
And like an order came in for 10 glazed hams, and she's just like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, she gave out like a bloody hell, mate.
Absolutely gobsmacked.
Like I think we need follow-up questions. So if she is listening, I hope
she's not.
Well, if she's
we're gonna clip this and send it to her.
Yeah. If she's listening, I hope that we get follow-ups to this ham-related predicament.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's what I've got to say about this tweet. I'm intrigued, and I'm going to tune in on this tweet.
Oh, you're going to tune in.
Yeah, I think I'm going to tune in on this tweet because I need to know more. They could make a documentary out of this tweet, like a 6-episode documentary on Netflix. I would watch it.
All right. That's a tune in.
It'd be called The Fuck. Or maybe it would just be called WTF. Why the fuck?
I guess that's a tune in on this tweet. Congratulations, Catherine.
Yes, a winner is you. And yeah, you can also use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll give a glance at what you're saying. Maybe you'll become one of the favorite tweets of the week.
So, speaking of Twitter, on the TV Tuners account, there was an important tweet that I wanted to discuss as well, just very briefly.
This is not the tweet of the week, though?
No, it's just another supplemental tweet to talk about.
Okay, I thought it was clear. I thought it was nice that we should clarify.
Yeah, this was a very important thing that popped up. It was a really important question about the hit TV series anime called Cory in the House.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the question posed was, at the end of the series, does Cory leave the house?
Oh, yeah, I have looked up the answer to this.
Yeah?
Oh, good.
He does not. The show was sort of just abruptly ended.
All right.
Wow, that's...
Do you have any questions about the Mark Wahlberg tweet, or are we going to move on?
I think that's enough Twitter time for today.
Yeah, I never have any questions about Mark Wahlberg.
All right, no more Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Do you want to read this in his voice, though?
Sure. If I was on that plane with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did. There would have been a lot of blood in that first-class cabin.
Yeah, he would have stopped 9/11. What else?
Yeah. He later apologized.
Oh, wait, hold on. I have a second quote here. He says, and yeah, I didn't do anything to that Asian man. Okay? He hurt himself. He forgave me.
Wow.
Look up the context for that one. Anyway, another way you can get at us if you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, is to send us an email. Send us an email at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Kyo-Rain?
You're putting me on the spot here, Swanson. You just expect me to listen to the podcast email?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, it's tvtuners@yahoo.org.
That's
right.
right. And yeah, you can send us questions there, and we'll read them here on the podcast. Believe it or not.
Out loud?
That's right. We won't silently read them and then comment on them. We will read them aloud for the listener.
Okay, that'll be helpful so they understand
And then
what's
we'll
going
answer
on.
them.
Yeah. And with that out of the way,
No, we'll just read them and move on.
yeah, we will. There'll be a moment of silence where we read the email, and then we just we go, "That's a good one," and then move on.
Well, we are going to do that once this year, but I can't say which email because it hasn't been written yet.
Oh, and you're gonna let us know that that's the email that we should just read and not put on the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be a dark email, I guess.
Is it like you emailing us your suicide note or something?
Yeah. So, what do you think of that, fellas? Bang!
Sobering stuff. And yet, it would somehow be our most listened to episode.
Oh, yeah.
You
don't think I haven't thought about that at night, lying in bed?
I really hope you haven't.
Are you doing okay, Stairmaster?
Yeah, I guess maybe your friend should check in on you some more.
Please don't.
Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into what you guys watched this week. Anything interesting?
I watched that Half-Life VR with the self-aware AI videos.
Oh, yeah? How's that?
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of surreal improvisational comedy.
Oh, it's a comedy?
Yeah, what is it exactly for the listeners who might not know?
Okay, so it's like a video LP of Half-Life, but it's actually secretly multiplayer co-op, and some other people are pretending to be the NPCs and having conversations with the player character.
Oh.
And it's like borderline, sometimes in some parts Kafka-esque, and other parts wacky.
That sounds kind of amusing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, that's it? Or you got more?
Yeah, I completed. The last part is being uploaded onto YouTube over the next week, so you should get on that now.
All right. I watched the wrestling spectacular known as WrestleMania 36.
Ooh, who won? And who lost?
People won, people lost. Overall,
WrestleMania, huh?
Yeah. Now, you would think... Oh, you getting some cereal there, Star? Some cereal, Kiorain?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he's stirring his tea.
No, this is bowl cereal, because...
What?
Oh.
Okay.
As you know, we're all remotely recording because of the apocalypse.
Yes.
No, don't let me interrupt you. Just keep talking about like wrestling.
Okay, yeah. That thing that Kyo's very enjoys passionately.
Yeah,
Alright, so
I
did
got out
John
the cereal
Cena
to enjoy this even more.
Did John Cena defeat his Dark Passenger?
We'll get to that. So it was a mixed bag, mainly because empty arena wrestling is odd and terrifying. I don't need to hear that much grunting and screaming. So they
Is
were
it like ASMR now?
Yes, there's a lot of just like no. Yeah, it's not good. It's telling that the best parts of both nights, for the first time ever, WrestleMania was 2 nights, which made it actually more bearable than the 8-hour slogs that they had been in the past couple years.
Oh wait, is that serious? 8 hours?
Yeah, about.
These are pay-per-views. How are they getting 8 hours?
Because most people are on the network watching it, so it can go as long as they want.
But why?
Well, that's also a good question. It's because they have so much talent that they literally add so much talent, and like it would be impossible to not include the most important people and not take up that much time. Anyway, the 2 nights were headlined by what was going to be Goldberg, who we've talked about before,
Again.
Fighting Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns had to pull out due to being immunocompromised.
Oh.
And so instead, Goldberg lost his title in a squash match, pretty much, to another big old racist guy that no one likes, Braun Strowman.
Okay, so we've confirmed that Goldberg healthier than Roman Reigns somehow.
Yeah, I guess because he's like 50-something, so it's fine. He could just spear the coronavirus if he needed to. He would just no-sell it, so it's not a big deal.
That's a little-known fact. You can defeat the coronavirus by just pretending to be sick by cutting yourself with a razor blade.
Yeah.
When you're curled down.
Is that medical advice?
Yes.
Yep. Stairmaster is a noted physician. Trusted source in field.
Jinx. Well, not Jinx.
But yeah, Goldberg lost to this big burly man known as Braun Strowman, who I personally don't like, and I'm going to say no one else likes.
Is
I
his
don't like
gimmick
him.
that he's a Nazi? Because it sounds like a Nazi name.
No, his gimmick is that he's big and tough and like has bad opinions. He made some comments recently that were very dumb about how if you can't work, then you shouldn't be getting money.
Oh, that's what we were going to say. He came out and said, like, hot dogs or sandwiches or something.
Well, at least he's not saying work will set you free.
Well, that's true. But it was it was rewarding to see him get a title shot by pure luck. He should buy Roman Reigns a thank you cake for winning the world title.
Oh, I don't know if that'll help his health.
A cake would be nice, probably. He'd probably like that.
Maybe it's like a lemon cake.
Yeah.
That's good for your immune system, right?
In other slightly depressing news, Brock Lesnar, or not depressing, it was nice. Brock Lesnar also lost the title to the first UK-born WWE champion, Drew McIntyre.
Finally.
That's terrible news. The Brits are taking over.
Yeah. I notice I said UK because it was from Scotland, so he's not actually British. They do like to make a distinction.
And he might not be part of the UK for much longer.
Well, if they get their way.
Are they talking about separating again?
They've never stopped.
That's like the sword of Damocles.
But in the good news, both nights were headlined by 2 stellar cinematic wrestling matches. So this is a thing that isn't necessarily new. Matt Hardy's been doing it for years now, and it's an idea that is never been quite done well by WWE because they always have a live audience to think about, and live audiences don't want to watch something on a screen when they could watch it in front of them. But now you don't have any audience, so why not do it? for those who might know, The Undertaker is a 50-year-old man who used to be a zombie and now used to act like a zombie and now it just is one.
Okay.
His wrestling career has been in a decline for the past 5 years.
Is he going to do it? Is he going to do the soul transfer?
He did a soul transfer in a sort of way by finding a new avenue to record. And it turns out live matches might not be his thing anymore, but cinematic matches where he doesn't actually have to do a whole bunch of work in the same time. Turns out that's a good thing for people who might be past it. So we got a cinematic match between him and a man named AJ Styles. And in this, it was set in a graveyard, so sort of his territory, and it was the most ridiculous thing you could possibly watch, but in a fun way. There were close-ups to Undertaker riding a motorcycle, and him falling into a grave and then appearing behind AJ Styles as he rides a dump truck. Undertaker.
Wait. Let me get some clarification on this. This is wrestling. They're wrestling, right?
Yes, yeah, but it's in a cinematic way, so it feels like you're watching a B movie.
Okay, so who's riding the dump truck? AJ Styles?
AJ Styles is riding the dump truck, and then as he's about to pour the rest of the dirt into the grave to finally bury the Undertaker, the Undertaker appears behind him and snarls. Undertaker also gets turned on by his druids at one point and then has to fight them.
Wait. Oh, you mean betrayed by his druids?
Yes, he gets betrayed by his druids.
Not turned on. You have become a sexual object, and I must annihilate you.
No, yeah, he might have been, and that might have been why he was fighting them as well. But
yes, you have to really look out for the inflection on that phrase. If you say turned on, that just means betrayed. But if you say turned on, that means something else.
Mm-hmm.
By God, the Undertaker's gone stiff, but not cold.
Well, stiff is also a phrase for when you get actually hit in the face.
Ooh.
You get stiffed.
And also, when you talk about Undertaker getting stiff, I kind of think of rigor mortis.
Oh, yeah, because he is the Undertaker, yeah.
That is the joke I was making.
The Undertaker does battle back and actually does bury AJ Styles, but AJ Styles proves that he's still alive by sticking his hand out of the grave. But he can't get the rest of himself up, so Undertaker wins.
And he died.
Yeah, he's just dead now. And Undertaker rides off as Metallica plays I'm Not Shitting You. Metallica was playing.
So is that a tune-in?
That's a tune-in on that part. And then the second night was the Piece de la Resistance. That's not how you say that, but I said it.
The Piece of Resistance?
That's right. John Cena had his match with The Fiend, who we've also talked about previously. And it was
the Joker.
It was a work of art. It's like if the show Twin Peaks was a wrestling match. So John Cena comes out and he's ready for his match.
Oh, so you mean JoJo Part 4?
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty much that. So John Cena comes out and he's ready for his match, right? But he had agreed that it's going to be a Firefly Funhouse match, which is the Firefly Funhouse is the place where the Fiend sort of lives. It's like his dimension. So John Cena gets teleported to his dimension and has to go through essentially his entire memories of his entire career as told to him by Bray Wyatt.
Oh.
So we get to see John Cena as a young rookie as he tries to make his way in the world, and Bray Wyatt coaxes him the entire time, telling him that these are the paths you could have made, and these are the decisions that you did made, and you held people down like me. It's a very meta textual critique of John Cena's whole career, and it's pretty amazing.
He goes on a spirit quest, is what you're telling me.
But why would you agree to do a wrestling match in your opponent's dimension? That seems like a bad strategic move.
Well, listen, John Cena's a very cocky individual. He's very...
It's not about strategy, it's about ego, Stairmaster.
Yeah, you're right.
And John Cena's ego literally resolves in him being erased from existence by the Fiend.
Oh, fuck. Spoilers. You might want to bleep that out.
I mean, the event happened already.
Yeah, but what if... Okay.
I think if you're following WrestleTown, probably know, right?
Yeah, I think so. There's a really good segment where Bray Wyatt posits a scenario where John Cena leads the NWO.
What?
And it's very good. The whole segment's very good. John Cena, he gets beaten by the Fiend and vanishes from existence.
Damn, I can't believe John Cena fucking died.
Yeah, it was. Even if you don't like wrestling, I would say you need to watch this because it's wild.
Do you think Donald Trump called the Cena family to offer condolences after that happened?
Yeah, I think he called up and he was like, "Listen, I'm so sorry to hear about what happened to John. I am going to personally get a task force together. We are going to find the Fiend. Even if I have to go into his dimension,
oh no,
I will take him on."
That'd be a great bookend for 2020.
So he would be pretty powerful in the Fiend's dimension, it seems like.
Yeah, I think actually the Fiend he would go into the dimension, come out and be like, "I'd like to announce a new partnership with the Fiend. We're all working in the funhouse together.
I am now in charge of the new world order." Oh, wait, no, he shouldn't say that because then the conspiracy guys will start shooting places up.
Oh, yeah, that'd be no good. Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't say watch all of WrestleMania, but definitely watch those two matches, and if you never watched wrestling before, the Funhouse is something that I think you'll still enjoy.
Mm-hmm. So, TV Tuners is a pro-Saudi Arabia podcast now.
I don't know about all that. I don't think the Fiend likes Saudi Arabia, given what happened the last time he was there.
What, did he get stuck in the Sheik's dimension?
No, he got squashed by Goldberg.
Oh.
Yeah, Kiorain, we watched Saul. We should talk about that. It's time for Saul Watch. God damn, guys. Okay. All right.
No, keep going. Do it again, in fact.
Okay.
You like that, Swanson?
No.
Do you like our combined power? Our fearsome might, Swanson. You cannot stop this power.
Do you think anyone listening has figured out that it's the Better Call Saul theme yet? Or do they just think Stare is singing something?
Well, I mean,
they think
that's what my singing voice is?
They think that's the kind of humming you do when you're just improvising, just out for a stroll, just making noise.
Anyway,
I could try doing some other songs.
Let's talk about the episode.
All right. Yeah, this is a really Breaking Bad-ass episode.
This is goddamn, guys, they did it. They did it again. My boys.
They're all together now. All the warriors, all the subplots.
I don't want to upset you guys, but with the overwhelming hype for this episode, I was expecting more.
Okay, what were you expecting?
Yeah,
I don't know. Listen, I went on Reddit.com, which is always a mistake.
Oh, is that what they're saying over there on the Reddit?
No, most people know that it's good, but I saw a post on there where somebody said, it was good and all, but with all the hype they were giving it, I was expecting more.
People probably said that about Ozymandias, too.
And I was like reading through the comments, and somebody said, so, what were you expecting? And the answer was, guess what? Guess what the answer was?
What?
More.
More! I need more! Baby, want more!
Like Saul didn't kill anyone.
What does he want? Like Saul to go like John Wick on people?
There was a literal car flip. What more could you want?
I don't know. This episode had everything. It had
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, he specifically wanted Keanu Reeves to show up.
Like those cartel guys are pointing the guns at Saul, and then John Wick just steps in from behind the car and kills 3 of them in one shot.
Yeah. It's interesting because I haven't mentioned this yet on our Saul watches, but Vince Gilligan actually wasn't super involved with this season because he was doing El Camino, and this is like an episode that they made because they knew he could direct this episode, and that would be like his involvement. So I'm glad that his involvement was the best fucking thing in the show potentially.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here.
Well, so far, I mean, it's one of the best episodes.
The crazy thing about this episode is that it is still set up.
Oh yeah, there is still stuff being set up in this episode, even though there are just massive amounts of payoff going on here.
Yeah, huge things happen. A lot of payoffs.
You're gonna drink piss, Walter. Listen, I'm gonna drink your piss.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a new twist.
That would be...
Jesse, it's time to drink piss.
Kid, I need you to get on your knees.
Oh, no. Anyway,
What are
yeah.
you talking
It's
about,
got
Mr.
everything.
White?
Mike shoots people. Mike shoots more people. Saul drinks pee.
Oh, and he rejects the final memory of his brother, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And his car...
Oh, yeah, we say goodbye to his beater. After years of watching it.
That beautiful, beautiful car.
Yeah. Was there a moment, I mean, I know there was, but was there a moment more quietly devastating than him taking out the mug and it being shot through?
No, that was it right there.
And it did not get any better for
I
him.
think it was pretty... Yeah.
Just everything that we didn't want to happen, happened.
We saw the breaking of a boy, and this time Mike didn't intend it.
I don't think he's even realized this boy's been broken.
Yeah. Also, we get
He's got some inkling of him being broken.
Yeah.
You've got the stupid "do it for your family" speech, even though we all know Mike's only in it for revenge at this point.
Yeah, but Mike's monologue is Emmy worthy, and I can't wait to see him get snubbed yet again.
Yeah, I'm sure this is a cliche at this point because it's just so obvious, but those awards are definitely just political.
Rigged.
Yeah, I think that they have... I don't know. I feel like there's maybe a bias against spin-offs that's causing this, but then again, Frasier won a ton of Emmys, so it can't be right.
Would you be happy if Bernie Sanders got an Emmy, Keo?
For what?
As a consolation prize.
But what did he do?
He was in that movie.
They would nominate him for an Emmy because of one of those live streams he did.
Yeah.
He wins an Emmy for a movie.
They said that the live stream was over an hour long, so it's considered a feature-length film.
Anyway, yeah, stellar episode. To bookend it sort of with what Keo was talking about, I wasn't on Reddit, but I did read some comments on various reviews. And I sort of got the inverse of what you were saying, where someone was disappointed because Mike was OP.
He is fairly strong.
I mean, to be fair, he was not trying to flip that car. He wanted to use it to drive home. So he actually fucked up pretty bad at the end.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're going to get his car, and it's going to be fine. But no, that's not what happened. Were they talking about him, taking out that team of cartel guys?
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen him being able to do that before. We've gotten training sequences.
Also, it was a situation where he was in the distance, hidden with a sniper rifle, and they were just kind of shooting off into the into the
and it's not
open.
like he took them all out in one shot either.
Yeah,
and he took him 2 shots to get this guy, and he still messed up. Anyway, it's a great episode. One of the best pieces of television I've ever seen.
Yeah, seriously, if you're listening to us talk about this and you haven't watched this show, I just do it. It's really good.
Especially if you've watched Breaking Bad and seen Vince Gilligan and his directors when their ways of setting up scenes in the desert and been oh, these can't be topped. It gets pretty damn close in this episode.
Yeah, the cinematography is always spot on, but it's impressive what they managed to pull off here.
Anyway,
yeah, this is hours and hours of top quality content for you to just enjoy. So just do it right now.
What are you waiting for? Just do it. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get to the news, huh? We actually have quite a bit of news this week, surprisingly.
Okay.
Starting off with some Corona-related discussions.
Corona beers?
No, the virus.
Oh, come on. That's a downer.
Yeah, sorry. Were you expecting the Corona beers news to be, cheerful?
Yeah, I could go for a cold one right now.
There's a Corona beer TV show.
What would your pitch be for that?
It's like Bumblebee Guy, but it's a guy in a beer mascot.
Ay caramba.
Dios míos!
So Paul Lieberstein, one of the producers of The Office, has come up with the first, but probably not last, remote office sitcom. Yeah.
It sounds like the worst.
Wait,
Sounds like the most alienating thing ever.
So it's a sitcom about people who are working from home?
Yes.
They never see each other face to face?
That's right. Currently untitled, the series will, I'm assuming won't have a virus aspect to it, but will deal with the current climate in a way that will involve people, I guess, recording from home.
What kind of wacky hijinks can you get into telecommuting, though?
I don't know.
The dog poops on the fax machine. And the fax machine sends him poop printouts.
Okay, that's one episode.
That's not even an episode. That's like one.
You could have like a whole arc where someone hacks the Zoom call.
Oh no!
Like there's like an extra guy in the call harassing them while they're trying to do their meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's like a guy. It's like a myth arc. There's this guy giving them directives who hacks into the Zoom call.
Yeah.
Hello. We are moving forward with Operation 2.
The in-development series will focus on a office in which all staff members are forced to be on camera with each other all day, every day. That seems ominous. All day, every day?
What's the purpose of that?
There'll be a subplot about one guy who keeps watching everyone take a shower.
Oh, yeah. So you mean it's going to be like The Voice?
Yeah. It's going to be like Sex House, I guess.
Oh, probably not as funny. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how they manage to write this. Probably not going to happen.
Yeah, the series isn't even picked up by a network yet, but I'm sure Netflix is foaming at the mouth to get on this.
Please don't. I don't want to have to watch this.
Anyway, we'll have to wait and see on where that one goes. Who knows? That could just be the future of television.
People who are not in the same location still having hijinks somehow?
Yeah.
Just kill me now.
Internet hijinks.
I'm going to be lying in bed thinking about this now.
Another thing you could think about while you're lying in bed at night is Quibi. The cell phone
My favorite!
The cell phone only streaming service launched this past week, and
really, really good service. Really hitting the ground running. We're doing this thing.
Yeah, high
this is
quality.
fantastic.
Quibi, which of course stands for Quick Bites, something I have to mention every fucking time we talk about this.
We're contractually obligated.
Finally opened.
This podcast has been sponsored by Quibi.
Quibi, future of streaming, Quibi.
Log into Quibi.com with access code. This is a real sponsorship for 1% off on your first order of Quibi.
A strange access code, but they gave it to us. So yeah, Quibi opened its digital doors this past week after months of sort of just telling us about it. And listen, it didn't go well.
What happened? What do you mean?
What do you mean? This is a flawless business concept.
Well,
what do you mean? But in my voice.
Quibi,
and there's no flooded market to worry about either.
That's right, or like a number of other problems that we might get to in a sec. Quibi's first day downloads were staggeringly low, 300,000.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's in addition to the fact that Quibi is offering a 90-day free trial period, 3 times what any other streamer is offering.
Oh. I don't know how they could fail. They have such great titles like Chrissy's Court.
Yeah, or I guess Reno 911's getting rebooted there.
Have we talked about the titles for Quibi?
I think we talked a little bit about it, and I was considering potentially doing this on the show, but we'll see.
Have we talked about Dishmantled?
No.
What's that?
Dishmantled, a cooking competition hosted by Titus Burgess.
My
Each
man.
episode starts with a cannon blasting a mystery food dish into the faces of 2 blindfolded chefs.
What?
The
Excuse
chefs
me?
will have to use their culinary prowess to identify the dish, and then race to recreate it for a cash prize.
What? So like they splattered all over the desk?
Yes, it's like Gacked.
There's also a show with Will Arnett called Memory Hole that's getting sued by a YouTube channel for copyright infringement.
Because they ripped off Everything's Terrible.
Yes.
The famous. But also, have we talked about Game Show with a Y?
Oh, because there's gay people?
Comedians Matt Rogers and Dave Mazzoni. Game Show is a comedic take on game shows that celebrate the LGBTQ plus community and its allies. 2 straight contestants are paired with a celebrity life partner as they take on a series of challenges, competing for the title of the Queen of the Straights.
All right, explain to me what a celebrity life partner is. Go ahead.
They live with them forever.
I never have to have gay sex.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. That sounds like bad.
Yeah, it sounds like something like a Tiger King would do.
Have we talked about Murder House Flip?
Excuse me?
Flipping houses meets CSI as homes known for mysterious murders undergo big renovations. Home renovations expert Michael Welch and Joelle Uzel will work to turn these houses from morbid to marvelous.
This sounds like an Adult Swim show.
No, these are all real shows. I checked it out.
Does that cancel out there being a murder there? Does that like boost the property value back up?
Now, you're sure Murder House Flip is not like a...
It's on the website.
But it's not like actors playing these people?
I don't know, but it's... No, this looks like a reality television show. Unless they're doing like some Onions type stuff, like Sex House, but with murder.
I don't know, I guess. Anyway, yeah, Quibi got a staggeringly low number. Now, you could put that up to anything. Perhaps it's the fact that you can only watch Quibi on your phone. There's no, like, desktop or TV app for Quibi. Sounds like a bad idea.
Doesn't make sense, really. There's no real point of that.
Well, yeah, I guess they really want to hammer home the fact that you can watch it on the go. Another thing that's a bad a marketing idea when there's no go to.
Oh, yeah. Literally the one streaming service that's fucked up by this disaster.
Yeah, there's no...
Yeah, there's no go to, but also I think all streaming services are good to go. Like, people already do that.
Yeah, you can watch Netflix on your phone if you need to. Like, there's no reason to just have a singular cellular app and nothing else.
Also, nobody watches on the go because we all drive to work. We don't have...
Well, I mean, if you live in the inner city, or if you live in the city, you probably drive.
I think
you probably don't drive, so...
I don't know what the statistics on that are. Well, we'll never know.
I mean, there are a lot of people who take subways and whatnot.
Well, we'll never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably more than 300,000, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, who knows what the future of Quibi holds, but it's probably about the same as the XFL. All rest in peace.
Oh! Yeah.
That news broke today. I revel in it.
Everyone's been fired. There's no plans to go forward.
But thanks to the virus outbreak and the lack of prepared programming for major networks, everything old is new again. And that includes movies being shown on TV.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Oh, you mean like the day after?
Oh, no, I mean something like, back in the day when they would air, like, movies on Sunday night before, like, Sunday nights were times for, like, Game of Thrones.
Oh, no.
Yeah, CBS has decided to go back to the decades-old approach of airing some TV that you might want to check out. Bringing back its old presentation, Sunday Night at the Movies.
Oh, God. This really is the end times. They've run out of television.
Yeah, so now they're just airing old films from Paramount Pictures.
It's gonna get a lot of watchers, a lot of viewers.
I mean, I guess it could potentially. The lineup is beginning on May 3rd with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that on what's the channel? CBS.
CBS, of course.
1.
Yeah.
It's like 5, probably.
CBS is all. I don't know. CBS is number 1 on my dial, I think. Number 2.
Oh, I don't think you're allowed to have number 1.
Yeah, they have number 2.
I think that number 1's reserved by, like, the military, from what I've heard.
Number 2 and the number 3 is CNN. Would you like me to go down the list further?
Yes.
4 is ABC. 5 is inexplicably Sci-Fi Channel.
What?
Woo!
6 is not a channel, and then 7 is TBS.
Oh,
I love TV.
We gotta get that 6 slot, man.
Yeah, the Toon Zone.
Oh, no.
We just air the podcast, and like our logo is like the only thing that's like picture that you see, and we just air the podcast. Listen, we can make it happen, Toonheads. The next week,
Send us your cash, and we'll fund it.
Please, we need money.
The next week is followed by everyone's favorite Forrest Gump. The week after that, we'll get Mission Impossible. So, yeah, Tom Cruise will be there. Titanic follows that. And then on May 31st, for what I guess they're hoping is the final episode, but probably won't be, is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
And then the end of days will happen, and we'll finally be free of this hell.
And in final news, the world needs more doctors currently, so Disney Plus has decided to answer the call by rebooting Doogie Howser.
What?
Yeah, for anyone who might not know, Doogie Howser was a 90s show starring Neil Patrick Harris while he was a young child. As Doogie Howser, a young boy who passed medical school and was a doctor.
Was he good at it?
Presumably.
Like how young of a boy? Are we talking like just learn to tie your shoes?
Like Doug aged, I believe.
Yeah, he was like 12 or 13.
Wow.
Yeah, he was Doogie Howser MD, credited.
And was this a comedy?
I think it was like a dramedy type of deal. I think it was an hour-long show, so I guess it was more dramatic than comedic.
This drama about a child doctor.
Yeah.
How are we going to take this seriously?
That's a great question. You know, the 90s were a wild time. It was the early 90s, so cocaine still wasn't out of our system yet.
So you're
what
saying that
a child doctor has to do a surgery and it goes wrong?
Well, he's a doctor. He's not a surgeon.
Oh.
What kind of
What
doctor
sort
is
of
he?
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Well, I think doctors and surgeons are kind of different things.
So what sort of doctor is he, bitch?
He's a doctor. Doctors and surgeons are different things.
Like
But
a
what sort
general
of doctor is he?
a general practitioner?
Yeah, I don't know
pediatrician?
whatever an
Pediatrician?
MD is, a medical doctor.
A podiatrist? That just means he's got a medical degree.
Yeah, he works in a hospital. I don't know.
Maybe he's a gynecologist.
Look, I've watched like 2 episodes of Doogie Howser.
Imagine if he was a gynecologist.
Oh, that's the reboot I need. Doogie Howser, OBGYN.
Oh, no.
Now, I have a really hot take about doctors.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
You're not a fan?
This is going to be real. No, that's not what. Well, you could take that from what I'm saying, but I think that doctors have a sexual fixation on whatever they specialize in.
Huh. So, like, foot doctors, obviously, in the feet stuff.
Yes, dermatologists really just love skin.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, what about general practitioners? They just love all you? They can't get enough?
They're just like total nymphomaniacs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I could see that theory proven true.
They love the human body in general.
Yeah.
Okay, I looked it up on Wikipedia, and Doogie Howser does begin a trauma surgery fellowship.
Oh, huh. How about that?
But I'm still not clear on what sort of doctor he is.
You know what? I doubt the writers were clear either.
Is he like Mr. Home, who like they
Hold on, he's a second-year resident surgeon.
Mr. Home?
Mr. Home, like the show where they come in and they're like, oh, I guess Dr. Home rather.
Oh yeah, Dr. Home comes in and he's like, it was lupus.
Yeah. Is he like that where he figures out the mystery disease?
No, I don't think so.
And
I think there's like he deals with like situations and grows up a little bit each episode.
As a doctor.
That's right. Yeah, he grows up as a doctor.
As a surgeon, because we have established he's a surgeon.
All right. Well, that's a tune in on Doogie Howser from the 90s.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, what about this reboot version, which is doesn't necessarily involve Neil Patrick Harris as of yet, but does involve a female doctor lady.
A female doctor?
Titled
I'm intrigued
Doogie
here.
Kaloha, MD. The series centers on a teen girl who is half white and half Asian.
Okay, sure, why not?
The new Doogie, which I guess is not as a gender neutral name, is 16 years old and has already graduated from medical school and is working as a doctor in Hawaii.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, you watched that?
No.
Yeah.
Did you know that Doogie...
Yeah?
Did you know that Doogie Howser appeared in an episode of Roseanne?
No, but
Or Roseanne?
I believe it.
Okay.
Does he operate on Roseanne?
Yes, Roseanne has a dream about after undergoing breast reduction surgery. But in the dream, she gets breast enlargement surgery, and Doogie Howser is the doctor.
That's insane, bro.
That's wild. It's wild, dude. Yeah,
I mean,
and it remains to be seen what we'll see of this Disney Plus show, but it'll probably be milquetoast and boring.
Yeah, well, what 12-year-old wouldn't do that? Tell me.
Ooh.
Oh, and the 1990 Earth Day special, Doogie Howser meets Emmett L. Brown.
There's an Earth Day special
of
the Doogie Howser program?
No, this is like an Earth Day special on ABC in 1990.
Oh, okay.
And it had Doogie Howser meet Doc Brown. Also it had Danny DeVito in it.
The 90s were a simpler time where a show like Doogie Howser could run for, and I'm not shitting you here, 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Well, rest in peace, Doogie Howser.
Yeah, and welcome Doogie Kaloha. Anyway, that's it for the news, so let's take a quick second, sit down, and just have a...
Smoke!
No, we don't
just
do that anymore, Stare.
You guys ever just lay in your bed, look at the ceiling, and count all the spiders?
You ever see submarines lurking in the foggy ceiling?
I don't do...
Yeah,
I've never
when I'm
done either of
sleepless
those
at night.
things. I don't know what you guys are up to, but...
You're missing out.
Have you ever laid down late at night and thought about how you'll die? Because you might be... this podcast might be for you. As you guys know, we're all part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network, and so is this podcast. How Will I Die? It's a podcast about each week the host gets a scenario going about how they'll die, and then they act out that scenario through improvisational comedy and more. It's a show that you'll enjoy, potentially. Give it a listen.
Did you know that a man once jumped into a bulletproof window so much that he busted it out of the frame and fell to his death? I do. Hey, I'm Nicholas Howe, and I made an improvised comedy storytelling podcast about this death and many others. Using a multiverse of me's as the catalyst, I explore the various ways people have died. I also have special guests on and freak them out about how dangerous the world is. Did you know lakes can explode? You do now. Listen to the How Will I Die podcast on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Twitter at HWIDIEPOD.
I can't wait to die. Listening to this podcast. Anyway, if you like that and more, you can always check out bigheadsmedia.com for great podcasts.
And that noise was me dying, for the record.
Yeah, that's the noise people make when they die. Yeah, with that out of the way, it's time for another segment near and dear to everyone's hearts. It's Guess Who's Coming! Hit the theme, Kyorain.
Guess who's coming?
Wow, very, very nice serenade there. So yes, it's a new month, so it's time to break out another batch of Guess Who's Coming, the guessing game where I challenge Kyorain and Stairmaster to come up with the show based off of the title that I give them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And usually I lose.
Yes, the winner with the most points, of course, gets a special prize. All right.
Yeah, Stair always loses. I always win, and I've got a really big ego about this. I really care.
Wow, you're like the Patty to my Doug.
It's true. Yes, there's no lesson that'll be learned in this one, sadly. But I guess you could say it's the same thing that happens in that episode. So we'll start off with ABC in this show called The Baker and the Beauty.
Okay.
Okay, so Kevin James plays this baker, and he's got a really hot wife. And
Oh my
society
God.
just can't handle the dissonance.
Okay, so there's a baker, and he's making bread, all kinds of different breads, all kinds of pastries. It's crazy baking going on here, and he's got this regular customer who comes down and buys the bread, and she's like real beautiful. She's a beauty, and he's like, oh, I want that. Ugh, I want that. Ugh.
And you think that's how he's going to react?
No, I think I know where... Oh, I thought Kyo was going to say he's going to bake a woman.
Wait, you thought that
No.
was like he's going to bake a woman in her image?
Yeah, he's gonna make a woman out of bread.
So it would be like the movie. It'd be like the movie where Tyra Banks becomes like a real life human after being a model or whatever, like a dummy.
Yes.
But it's made of bread.
Yes.
Okay, but the problem...
It's like those creepy Old Spice commercials, but with bread instead of a man made out of chocolate.
The problem is that this woman is like totally out of his league. She's like buying the most expensive bread there. It's like crazy bread. And like she doesn't give him the time of day, and he's like, "Ugh, I want that." Ugh.
Okay. That's a very in-depth prediction. Well, let's see who got it.
How much grunting is in the description, Swans? And tell me that right now.
That was way too loud. Sorry.
There's no indication of any grunts in this one, so we'll see.
Okay.
Daniel Garcia is working in the family bakery and doing everything that his loving Cuban parents and siblings expect him to do. But on a wild Miami night, he meets Noah Hamilton, an international superstar and famous mogul, and his life moves into the spotlight. Will this unlikely couple upend their lives to be together and pull their families into a culture clash? I guess Kieran has is closer.
I guess that sounds...
Expand on that, Swanson.
Well, that sounds a little more mutual than I was describing it as, I guess.
Yeah, well,
yes.
And also, but he did mention that there's a family bakery that he's running, so...
Oh, that is oddly specific.
Did I say family bakery?
Well, you said bakery, and I don't think Stair mentioned...
did not say family bakery. I said... Well, I implied there was a family because Kevin James is married.
Yeah, but this is a Cuban man, and that's very far off from Kevin James.
Kevin James plays a Cuban man.
Ooh. If anything, they would get Rob Schneider for that role.
I Love Lucy reboot starring Kevin James.
Yeah, and it's actually worse than I Love Lucy because this time it's not an actual Cuban person. I don't know. I guess because there's wild Miami nights, there's going to be a lot of grunting going on, so that sounds more like what Keo had in mind here.
Yeah, in your face, Stairmaster.
Shut up! Why are you Skeeter?
I think that was supposed to be Roger, but either one is bad. So that's a point for Keo. Let's move over to CBS with their show, Broke.
Alright, so I'm just going to go real simple on this one. This one, boys. There's a really down on his luck man. He's got like no dollars.
Or cents?
He's like walking around empty pockets.
Alright.
And he comes upon a really fascinating get-rich-quick scheme. And he's all in. But it takes a dark turn.
It's going to be like Atlanta, but for white people. And also the protagonist is going to live in a really unobtainable apartment for most people, sort of like Friends.
Okay, so... interesting. It doesn't really sound like Atlanta.
I mean, Atlanta... Well, I only saw like a couple episodes of Atlanta. But there was that... Like, the second one did have him dealing with the fact he was too poor to go on a date with his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, but they don't live in like an unattainable house, and it's not a standard sitcom. But I guess because it's CBS, that makes sense. It's a safe gambit.
Yes.
I'll give you that. All right, let's see who got the closest. Jackie, a single suburban mother, is shocked when her estranged sister Elizabeth, her sister's outrageously wealthy, big-hearted husband Javier, and Javier's fiercely loyal assistant, driver, friend land on her doorstep, in need of a place to live after the couple's money dries up. Though class differences may separate the women, and the size of the house and the number of people living in it will test the limits of family ties, the familiar bond of sisterhood might be the catalyst they need to restore their relationship. You know what? Stair might have actually somehow gotten close. You know, Atlanta's about class differences a lot.
Interesting.
And, it is about the bond of family in Atlanta.
Mine doesn't sound anywhere near that.
Yeah, I think Stair gets the point.
Yeah. No!
Now Keo's doing the
I
grunting.
always win! I'm supposed to win!
Keo, you're doing a lot of grunting over there. Let's move over to HBO with this show, I Know This Much Is True.
I know this much is true.
Yeah, we'll see what Steph thinks.
I think there's a detective, and he or she or they are trying to figure shit out, as they are wont to do.
Ooh, very low concept for HBO.
So So this is a song title?
Oh, maybe
is that what you were singing?
I don't know. Well, I mean, it is lyrics to the song "True" by Spandau Ballet, but I don't know if that's where they got it from or from anything else that I've heard that phrase used.
Oh man, I'm just gonna go with this is like a mystery show.
Oh, that's original.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bold guess considering how many there are, but I got nothing. It's a mystery show. This guy's trying to figure out like the dark secret in his backstory.
Okay.
And he only knows one. He only knows one detail about it at the beginning, and
so
that's
it's like
his
that
only.
Fox show, John Doe.
Yeah, and that's his only clue. So he goes, and I don't know, like he's got like a little man.
A little man.
I love. You can always tell when Keo's desperate in these games because he adds in a little man.
What?
Like it's an episode of Twin Peaks.
That little guy on his shoulder.
How many times have I done that?
I don't know, but I hope a loyal listener, makes a smash cut.
I don't remember Keo ever talking about little.
No, he talks about a little guy. At least, like I've heard, it's a recurring bit enough for me to remember it.
I think maybe there's like some sliders bullshit going on, and you're from a different TV Tuners reality.
He's got a little man, and they team up to solve the mystery.
All right. Well,
read the description.
Let's see what I Know This Much Is True is about. A family saga that follows the parallel lives of identical twin brothers in a story of betrayal, sacrifice, and forgiveness, set against
equally sized men,
set against the backdrop of 20th century America. Okay,
yeah,
it does not say equally sized; it just says identical.
Well, I mean, what kind of twins would have a little one and a big one?
Okay, what if they're both little?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, identical twins is just facial appearances; it doesn't have anything to do with size.
Oh yeah, I've seen plenty of identical twins with the same face.
Maybe that's why this story is so exceptional. Anyway, I need you guys to...
I mean, I guess if one of them grew up really malnourished...
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I need you guys to pitch why your idea...
No, nobody wins. Nobody wins.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you at the end of that statement. What was the last sentence?
Oh, it's set against the backdrop of 20th century America.
And it's a tale of, you said, betrayal?
Sacrifice and forgiveness.
Oh, that's the opposite of what you want in a mystery.
Okay. I think the little man could betray the bigger man.
Yeah.
There's no betrayal.
You know,
he just said there was no betrayal.
He said betrayal, sacrifice, and forgiveness.
I only heard sacrifice.
No, it's in a story of betrayal, sacrifice, and forgiveness. Keo gets the point.
Okay. I think nobody should get the point, and I think you should apologize to the listener.
Keo should get the point, and I don't know why I would apologize for a great bit. Little man? That's podcasting gold. Stairmaster, you're currently behind, so let's see if you can pull into the ahead with this Apple TV Plus program, Defending Jacob.
Okay,
all right.
So this is set in biblical times. And Jacob is on trial. Which one was Jacob? Fuck.
I don't know who Jacob was biblically. Swansea, can you tell him?
Jacob was the one with the Technicolor Dreamcoat, I think.
No, that's Joseph.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Wait, no. Jacob was the one who wrestled God, I think.
No, that's Isaac.
I'm pretty sure. No, that's definitely not Isaac.
Isaac wrestled God.
No, that's it.
I don't know. Did Jacob have like some kind of ladder or something?
Yeah, I believe there was a sort of Jacob's ladder scenario.
Okay, well, I think Stare is giving up, so I'm going to do my answer. This is set
Jacob
in...
was the one with the ladder, but I'm pretty sure he also wrestled.
I must admit that I am wrong. Jacob didn't wrestle God.
Yes, Jacob wrestling with an angel. In some interpretations, it's God, but most people prefer to pretend it's an angel in order to feel less emasculated.
Okay, did you give your answer, or can I do mine?
Yes. Jacob's on trial for suplexing God and accidentally killing him. And that's what the show's about.
Oh, wow. You think they would come up with a better name than defending Jacob for that?
Is it about like a shockingly modern court case over this?
No, it's like a Game of Thrones-ass trial, but in heaven. It's like the Soul Society arc of Bleach.
How long could that possibly go on before they decide to execute him? I don't understand.
Maybe it's a miniseries.
Well, see, they'll keep moving the date of his execution to generate suspense.
As Ichigo rushes in to rescue him.
That's right, Ichigo is in this.
Oh, fuck. Sorry,
Okay.
people who listen to the bonus episodes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go with this is set in modern day with just a boring schlubby guy named Jacob,
Yes, and there's no God. He might be dead, but he's not in the program.
and he's under arrest. He's behind the bars, and there's this man, and he's like the lawyer, and he's like, I better defend Jacob. That's it.
All right. A family's lives are irreparably disrupted when the son is accused of murdering a fellow classmate.
Oh,
I mean...
that's not God.
Well, yeah, I guess we don't know if the fellow classmate is God, but I think we can assume.
Maybe the classmate is Christ.
Oh, yeah. I guess that is a God, and that is God in interpretations.
Are there
explain how this classmate was murdered?
Are there any stories where Jesus goes to school?
I can't explain any further. That's really all I got on this series.
So we don't know for a fact that he wasn't murdered with wrestling moves.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming how he was murdered will come up in the actual program, since it's a mystery show.
And I'm guessing it was a suplex, maybe a diving headbutt.
I don't know, but it's also clearly set in modern day, so I think Keo gets the point there.
Well, there's always like modern retellings of like Shakespeare plays. Why not the Bible?
Because there's no sign of any kind of angelic presence in this.
God is everywhere. You just have to listen.
Yeah.
And you can attack God by killing a random guy.
Yes, if you know how to wrestle.
Well, you know what? I'll give Ster the point for this one. It's suddenly a tied game.
Wow!
This seems a little contrived.
Never.
What, do you want to wrestle?
Oh yeah, why don't you guys wrestle for it? I know you aren't in separate. I know you're in separate areas right now, but
All right,
I should warn you, Keo. I did read the Bible.
Well, let's settle this in a 2003 WWE video game.
Oh, why 2003?
Oh yeah, everyone's favorite version of the game.
Yeah, before the Iraq War ruined wrestling.
Yeah.
The second Iraq War.
All right, we played the game already. It's their one.
Yeah, we had to do some editing because it was just not good podcasting material. But
yeah, we were just not on our A game that day.
Yeah. But I do have this final tiebreaker to determine who will walk home with this glorious prize that I have.
I have to win this.
All
This is really important. Oh my god, I have to win this.
All right.
I can't let my friends down.
Are you prepared for this Netflix program?
Oh, I am.
I'm ready for the Netflix program.
Brew Brothers.
Oh my god.
Okay, so these brothers are running a distillery, but it turns out they're short on money, and there's social differences coming between them because their personalities are clashing. And also Winona Ryder is there for some reason.
Wow, Ster could barely get a breath in on that.
He had to really get in on this.
And also it's shot in dark blue for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Like
why are you adding all these details to it that are going to make you wrong?
Ster really can't help dig the grave for himself. He's like AJ Styles.
Also, it's in New York for some reason.
He's AJ Styles on a dump truck, and now The Undertaker is about to show up behind him in the form of the wrong answer.
It's in New York because they can't afford any other sets.
Ster, you just can't help.
Use the ones from Marvel.
You just can't help yourself, can you?
Greedy to want all that.
No, you'll see. I'll be the winner after all this.
All right. So, Brew Brothers is about two brothers who team up to create the Brew Brothers Brewery. And they name drop Brew Brothers in the first 5 minutes of the show.
Oh, yeah, of course. Netflix loves to do that.
And, but there's not just brewing of beer.
Ooh.
There's a brewing rivalry between these two brothers as they clash to create the best brew.
Okay, Kieran, you're telling me that in this episode, these boys are going to clash.
This sounds like mine, but you just put a different emphasis on a different aspect of it.
Well, what am I supposed to...
Well, you can maybe there's a little guy, Keo. Did you consider that?
I'm not going to say a little man.
Yeah, Kieran,
Again.
I need to know, are these two... neither of these brothers are little?
I think the brothers are of unspecified size.
I mean,
okay.
it's a TV's official medium, so you can probably make an educated guess on what size they are.
All right.
Okay, if there's two brothers mentioned at least, well, maybe there's three brothers.
Oh.
No, okay,
huh?
maybe three, but there would not be four. Maybe five.
What if it's five brothers and they used to work at Five Guys?
Okay, yeah.
No, I'm excising that. That's not my answer.
Kieran, how many brothers do you think there are?
I think there's two brothers.
Stairmaster, how many brothers do you think there are?
I also think there's three brothers, just to differentiate from Keo.
Okay. Brew Brothers. Brew Brothers follows two estranged brothers, Wilhelm and Adam Rodman, who find themselves running a brewery together. Each one is a beer genius, a Braumeister. But they couldn't be more different in their beer-making techniques and personalities. I mean, this is a pretty open and shut one, guys.
And we did say the same thing, so I guess we both get the point.
Yeah, well,
No.
Keo gets the point. You said three brothers.
You're right. I also said a lot of other things.
Yeah, you really doomed yourself by continuing to add into it. So, Stairmaster, I dug this open grave. If you'd be kind enough to drive over here and get in it.
Stair, you could have had that one if you would have just given a sane answer. And
I said the same thing you said.
No, you didn't.
You kept adding. You said they're filming in New York and have to use the old Daredevil sets.
Oh no, they're not filming in New York. They just have to reuse the sets.
Yeah, and you said like that these two brothers are like have a spiritual bond or something.
And you said there was a specific actor who's not a brother at all.
Oh yeah.
And you said they film it in blue?
Listen, if you're offended at how I'm being mistreated, hit up at Jesse Swanson on Twitter to tell him to feel ashamed.
Yeah, well, they won't be able to hit you up because you'll be in a grave.
Yeah, I'm not
all
on
right,
Twitter anymore.
all right, Swanson.
And
tell me.
Yeah, Kieran.
Tell me, Swanson, what do I get from winning this?
If you open your door, Kieran, you'll notice there's a box there.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay.
Yeah, I need you to open up that box. You're gonna find your present inside. Ooh,
there's paper in here.
That's right, Kieran. Lots of paper, and there's even more paper at the bottom. You know what it is, Kieran?
What is this?
It's a roll of toilet paper, buddy.
Wow.
2-ply.
Wow. Swanson, how did you get this?
An artifact from the before times.
Well, I had a guy who owed me a favor, so I got it smuggled in.
Thanks, I'm going to resell this on the streets.
It's pure Peruvian toilet paper.
I'm going to get like $10,000 out of this. Thanks, man.
What? No, that's for your butt.
No, am I dumb? I'm going to go sell this on the streets.
No, it'd be more reasonable to use dollar bills to why you possess at this point.
Yeah, I guess they're about as useful. Alright, well that's been another rousing edition of Guess Who's Coming.
Oh god.
Another month, another loss for Stairmaster. At this point you have sort of like a reverse streak going.
Stair, I was kind of wanting you to win that after a certain point, but you just wouldn't take it.
Hey.
Stair,
Hey, history will vindicate me.
Yeah, I guess that's what all losers say.
Yeah, it's all losers say that.
So yeah, we get to it's time to our main event here.
I'm tired. Let's just go home.
We're doing great in the quarantine, and we decided to watch a fresh new show, hot on the streets. It's
do you want me to explain why we watched Doug this week?
Yeah, sure. Explain to the people why we're watching a '90s Nickelodeon cartoon show.
All right, so I got a little delirious from being, cooped up, so I just kind of went outside and just walked, and I ended up
You went on a spirit quest.
I ended up in the desert.
Oh, okay.
I was just out there roaming, just walking aimlessly, and I fell to my knees, and I screamed at the sky, "Why, God, why?" And the clouds in the sky, which there are a lot of clouds there for the desert, parted, and I saw the gleaming visage of Doug.
Doug?
Look,
Doug Funny?
Yeah, like Doug.
Doug Funny.
That sounds frightening.
Like not Mr. Dink, but Doug?
Yeah, Doug. And he smiled and waved. And he said...
That's like in the credits.
Yeah. And I blacked out and I woke up back at home safe and sound.
Now I have one singular question
Yeah?
about this.
Okay.
When you passed out, did you hear like a...
No, I heard a...
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And
so I had a burning desire to watch Doug.
And
Swanson came to me. He said, "Hey, Keo, hey, here I come, man. Here I'm walking towards you."
As I do.
And I got these...
I do say that.
I got these shows...
You're approaching me?
Yeah, and I was like, "What do you want, Swanson? What's going on, friend?" And Swanson was like, "Yeah, we got these shows that came out recently to watch on the podcast. There's these modern new shows from 2020. We got to watch these." I'm like, "No." I'm just, no,
Keo,
we're watching Doug.
I asked Keo what we should watch this week, and he said for an hour straight, Doug, 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 Doug.
Yeah, Swanson only got one show out, and it sounded pretty fucking lame.
And Swanson, tried to convince me to watch this garbage show, and I wasn't going to go. Instead, tried to shoot me with a gun, but I didn't
That
work.
had nothing to do with Doug. So here we are this week.
Yep, and here we are watching Doug. This theme song slaps.
I just realized watching this, I realized I didn't remember anything about Doug. I thought he was more of a mature figure instead of this slightly aged up Charlie Brown motherfucker.
That's the thing, and it took me until the second episode to realize this, but I thought Doug was in, like, high school. But he's, like, 11 or 12 or something.
Yeah, which makes it ridiculous because it's elementary school. It's like a campus type.
Yeah, this is, like, the biggest elementary school I've ever
buildings.
seen.
Yeah, he is a very, very impotent character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize Doug was such a cock.
Also, all the characters look way taller than they should be for being 11 or 12.
Yes.
Like, these look like teenagers. Especially a character like Roger, who's pretty much dressed like the Fonz.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there an explanation on Roger's backstory on how he got that outfit?
Doug was semi-autobiographical.
That's how you say that, sure.
Semi-autobiographical.
Yeah, so
Yes.
are you thinking that the creator of Doug had some, like, ne'er-do-well in his life that looked like he dressed from The Outsiders?
Yes, I
In
think
middle
he was harassed
in-
by greasers.
In middle school?
Yeah.
All right.
And the greaser was a student at the middle school.
Well, was also kind of his friend, but not really.
Yeah, Roger doesn't really do a whole lot of bullying. I seem to remember him being much more of a bully, but he doesn't really...
Okay.
He's sort of just a nuisance.
So you
I've
mind
always-
explaining what episodes we watched and why?
Oh, yeah, we watched episodes that were in the highest ranking, according to IMDb.
Okay.
Because, we can't just start at the beginning with Doug, we have to make sure that we know that this is a tune-in or a tune-out, We cannot be blinded by nostalgia.
And also, what kind of people do you think rank Doug episodes on IMDb?
I would...
Doug fandom.
Yeah. I'm going to guess, based off the episodes we watched, that these two episodes ranked high because they they established sort of definitively the friendship and potential relationship between Doug and Patty Mayonnaise.
Yeah, that is a recurring theme in these episodes. What the hell's up with that?
I don't know. I guess people were real into the idea that, Doug and Patty Mayonnaise could, get together. Sort of like how people were invested. I don't know. Were people invested in Arnold and Helga? And Hey Arnold? Not that much, right?
Maybe.
I think the Doug fandom is really invested in this ship. I think that's the core. The core of the Doug fandom is the ship between Doug and Patty Mayonnaise.
I do not want to think about the Doug fandom. That is probably a dark, dark corner.
Do you think that corner is better or worse than the Rugrats fandom?
I think the Rugrats fandom is just like the most surreal memes and shit posting.
Yeah, I imagine All Grown Up messed them up pretty hard, so.
Oh, yeah, they don't really hold anything to be Rugrats.
Or do you think those are two separate fandoms?
I think there's an All Grown Up fandom that we should never speak of again.
You must never go here.
Yeah, there's probably some Grizzly Man shit going on there.
Right, we're going to have to do a TV Tuners deep dive on these fandoms, I think.
You're going to have to do a TV Tuners deep dive.
Yeah, I've absolved myself of this.
Do you think your fragile psyche cannot handle it?
Anyway, how about these episodes of Doug? So we open with Doug, and he's waiting for the principal, I guess. And he's envisioning that he got bad on the test, and he's in the Hall of Losers.
I did not know that this show did cold opens.
Oh, yeah. Doug loves the cold open.
And I want to get this out of the way. The show has sound effects, but some of them, not all of them, are onomatopoeia, which is kind of weird that they only go half in on this.
Well, it was early days of animation, as you can, for Nickelodeon at least, as you can tell by the animation style in this.
Yeah, they couldn't afford the voice actors to do all the sound effects.
Well, the only person they could really afford was when Skeeter would do them, but Skeeter doesn't even really talk in this first bit.
Real letdown.
Yeah.
He's not in this episode at all, basically.
I mean, he shows up he's in the second episode, but
yeah. Also, Doug is styled sort of like an Ed, Edd and Eddy type cartoon where there's two shorts instead of one whole episode.
I think that's how a lot of cartoons were styled in the day. I know SpongeBob was styled like that.
Real Common had 10-minute episods for these shows.
Yeah.
So technically we're doing 4 episodes of TV, so this is more than the Bleach cast.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean they're all 10 minutes, so it's fine.
This episode's already twice as long as this week's Bleach cast, by the way, or last week's. So there's that too.
Yeah. So yeah, we get introduced to the principal, who sounds like Don Knotts, and he's all annoyed at Doug because he thinks
Doug's in trouble, guys. He's busted.
He thinks Doug cheated on the test because his answers are identical to that of Chalky. Chalky.
Yes, the Ubermensch of the school who has anime hair.
It has anime hair and green skin. His name is...
Is this the debut of this new character, Chalky?
I think Chalky is a recurring character on the program, and I don't know what Chalky is short for.
Because he's like one of Doug's friends.
It's short for Chalky White. This is a prequel to Boardwalk Empire.
Oh no!
In the following episodes, Chalky is one of his friends. Like he hangs out with him and stuff. But
in this one, he's like a sort of a close acquaintance.
He's like an antagonist in this episode. He's running around getting him out, trying to get away from him.
But the way he's introduced in this episode suggests that we haven't seen him before because they go into detail about who he is.
I think they were just trying to expand on his life. Like before, he was just a green dude who hung out and liked Doug.
Also, there's some other
just in the background.
Characters.
Well,
like the Guy Fieri twins, we see a bit in these 2 episodes.
What exactly about them makes them Guy Fieri?
They got like the white spiky hair,
okay,
and the facial structure of Guy Fieri.
Yeah, all right, I guess I'll give them. Yeah, they don't really do anything else other than talk together and be weird.
As twins are wont to do.
Yeah. One of them, they are both the same height, so there's not one that is littler than the other. So Doug goes into the Bluffington Honker, which is their newspaper, I guess. It's also a gross name for anything.
Honk honk.
And Patty Mayonnaise is there, and Doug's like, I need to get to the bottom of this and find Chalky. And what we learn is that Chalky is just like in control of everything in the school. He's
the captain of every club and sports team.
Also, he's in swimming team. He's in track field, and also the track and field coach looks like a normal human being compared to everyone else on the show.
yeah, this track and field coach is my new favorite character. Doug seems to keep up with Chalky for a little bit, and then he hits one of the signs.
This was the only gag in the show that actually made me laugh.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, not the Point Break ripoff?
No. But the track coach comes and checks to make sure that his sign is okay and doesn't really seem very concerned about Doug.
He says, anything broken?
Yeah, it's good. So they're I don't know. Did we get this we get this three-peat because it's the rule of threes.
Yeah, rule of threes. Chases him to track and field, chases him to swimming team, chases him to orchestra.
No, swimming team is last, I believe, because the joke is that the joke is that he is in the orchestra and then he misses him, and he wonders because of the cannoneer that they have. This must be a private school to be able to afford a cannoneer.
They're doing
for practice
the
too.
1812 overture, so
so
they gotta have the cannoneer.
Yeah, and just for practice too. Like they have someone replacing the holes that these cannonballs cause. Like, is there a net?
I don't think there's a ball. I think they just put powder and ignite it.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, he asks if, let me guess, he's this also made me laugh, I guess. Made me give where she's like, let me guess, he's part of the swim, he's the captain of the swim team. She's like, no, he is the swim team. Which, give me this mental image of Chalky just sort of swimming laps against 5 different people.
Yeah, and so we cut to the swim team and Chalky's swimming, and at the bottom of the pool is just stuck with Doug with a little placard that says, "Can we talk?" And Chalky immediately swims away.
He promptly ignores him and that's
where we get the Point Break scene where Doug brainstorms how to get Chalky to talk to him.
Oh yeah.
And he thinks about interrupting him at the skydiving club meeting by handcuffing him to him.
But then he
a la Point Break.
Yeah, but then he just bounces out.
Just like Point Break.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Doug. He died.
Yeah. And it took Doug this long in the episode to realize that Chalky was actually just avoiding him. So he drives off after Chalky and catches.
Oh, he bicycles off.
Yeah, bicycles off after Chalky and catches him just in time for a good old rousing game of father-son catch.
Yeah, and it turns out Chalky is super busy, so he can't afford to confess because then he'll have to do a makeup test on the day of the big game. And did you catch his schedule?
No.
There's a fun visual gag because he's got a little day planner. On Tuesday, he's going to donate blood and work on discovering cold fusion. And amateur Sanskrit.
Yeah.
On Thursday, he's going to end world hunger.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I didn't even notice that.
That's good. That sounds about right. Doug seems to really come in and wreck this family's life up real quick.
Also, I like how lenient the school is, though. The consequence for cheating is that you just have to retake the test.
And it's a slightly harder test, so it's actually more work for the teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very lenient of them, but...
I mean, looking at an answer key is looking at an answer key, Swanson. I don't think it's harder.
Yeah, I guess.
Just more time.
That would imply they have the harder test just sitting around ready to go.
Yeah, if you don't cheat, you get the harder test. I've prepared 2 tests for this.
We just stole this from the local high school.
Yeah, so, Doug comes in and, changes their whole dynamic around, and, Chalky's like, it's right, Dad, you suck. And his dad's like, I guess I have to think about how my life goes. And then he goes upstairs and kills himself. It's so brutal.
It was crazy.
Yeah, you just hear a singular gunshot, and then doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, we get the title drop.
It's so wild. No, Doug, Chalky and his dad, I guess, reconcile or whatever, and then,
Oh, yeah, there's this weird thing where Chalky has an inferiority complex because his brother is, even more of a superior.
Yeah.
He's got, a trophy wall.
Yeah, it's strange.
His dad is just like, you want to be as good as your brother, right, son?
And he's like, I guess, yeah. Anyway,
really over the top, isn't it?
It ends with Doug hanging out. He brought his dog to the football game, and they're hanging out, having a good time. And it's the only sighting of Skeeter we get in this entire 10-minute episode.
Also, they lose because Chalky isn't playing, and the coach is very upset about that.
The coach is very upset by that, but Doug and all of his friends and like people in the audience don't seem to care that the football team is losing.
Yeah, because this is supposed to be like a morality thing. See, they learn the morals, so they're happy.
Also, they have this runner, if you can call it that, where Roger thinks that Doug is a cheater, and he's trying to
D-plot.
Yeah. And he's trying to figure... It's not really a plot, doesn't...
Yeah, it's just a
it's
runner.
a recurring gag.
Yeah.
Well, there's a conclusion, I guess. Or at least a punchline. I guess jokes are plots.
That's what runners are called, yeah.
Oh. I'm just gonna lay down.
But yeah, Roger thinks that Doug cheated, of course, so he's trying to, like, conspire with Doug to cheat even harder. But Doug didn't cheat.
Yeah. And once he finds out, he's like, oh, that's even better. Chalky's so much better at this than you.
And then he sees that Chalky is being punished for cheating. He's like, oh.
But still races after him anyway. Yeah. So then we get this second episode, and Doug's going on a date?
Yeah, there's a lot of heterosexual panic on this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely when I saw this episode, I was like, oh, that's why it was top rated on IMDb.
Yeah.
It's a Doug x Patty episode.
Yeah, I would have to assume that's why they loved this. The Doug fans.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Yeah, and if you don't realize these are elementary schoolers, it doesn't make very much sense that Doug is being made fun of.
This is why I had to look up how old Doug was, because I was confused why all of these elementary school kids were just like...
I mean, people talk about anime ages, but Doug...
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And all of these, like, middle schoolers are all like, ha, Doug's going on a date, what a loser! And
also, I just want to add that information seemed to travel very quickly in the Dougverse.
Yeah, they all find out immediately that Doug is on a date.
Everyone is immediately apprised of the entire situation.
His parents are, like, I guess, notified by the principal?
Yeah, like, including in the previous episode, Roger figured out that Doug cheated somehow. I don't know where he got it.
The dog pork chop has an elaborate surveillance system around the town.
That's true. And also, Roger is probably frequently in the principal's office, so...
Hey, Mr. What's the principal's name? Is that Bud?
I think that's right.
Well, that's already ruined, so who cares?
The entire world, though, knows about this. The fact that Patty went to go talk to Doug during lunch.
Yeah, and what appeared to be, like, not very loud, but everyone still heard.
Yeah,
they're all...
Like, them in the background going...
Yeah, kind of like how I do.
Is that what you do when people ask each other out on dates, even if you don't know them?
So, like, the first half of this is Doug just being like, is this a date?
And, like, yes, it's very obviously a date, but, you know, whatever, Doug.
But Patty doesn't seem to be in on it being a date until the end.
I think she wanted it to be a date, and Doug was just being like, this a date? So, he's not sure how dates are supposed to work, so he stalks his sister on a date.
Well, first he tries watching his movies.
Oh yeah, and they're not very helpful. At least he's wise enough as an 11-year-old to find out that this is not how real dating works. I feel like most 11-year-olds would not get that.
I thought they were going to have him like try to act out the movies, and it would be a big disaster, but they didn't go there.
The guy in the first movie looks like a normal human being too, which is very weird.
Look, sometimes they're just normal human beings. Doug is a normal human being.
He just has
looks like Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown's not that strange looking.
He's bald.
Okay.
Okay, that kind of looks like a young Dilbert.
Oh, do you think he's wearing his tie up on this episode to indicate to indicate that he has had sex?
I think he's going to NFL.com after this.
Ooh. So yeah, Doug stalks his sister.
Hot.
Stalks his sister on a date, and doesn't really get anything but horrible advice from everyone he asks. So then it comes time for the date, and it just sort of goes, I guess, mostly normal.
I tried to hold hands at the movie.
He keeps trying to hold her hand, but like
this is so awkward.
This is like a really uncomfortable scene.
Yeah, and like, I was more concerned with the movie they were watching because it seemed like a prototype for Shape of Water.
Yeah, but with Godzilla instead of a merman.
Yeah, better movie.
Also, it was like a romantic film, but he wasn't sure if it was a date or not. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if
really
you
oblivious.
went to go see a romantic film with a female or someone you were attracted to, I feel like you would be like, "Oh, this is a date. This is a date."
If a woman takes you to a film with bestiality in it,
Wife them up.
Yeah. Yeah, if she takes you to go see Zoo or whatever. I assume there's bestiality in Zoo because it's called Zoo.
Sure.
I've never seen Zoo.
Someone on the Twitter will tell us.
Oh wow, there's a lot of films with that title.
So yeah, they go for a walk after that. He sheepishly tries to ask her for coffee, but they're 11 years old, so I don't think either of them actually want coffee.
Yeah.
So
she says it tastes like chalk.
It's not wrong.
Tastes like chalky.
Oh no, that's a forbidden ship.
So Doug walks Patty home as they're talking about.
Wait. So Stare, are you telling me that if I went on the Doug Discord server?
Yeah, it's the official Doug Discord server.
and I started talking about how Patty and Chalky should end up together, there'd be an uproar.
Oh, for sure.
They would dox you, and then they would send Atomwolf into your house to kill you.
I'm saying that if you went onto the Doug Reddit and you posited an idea like that, you would be banned immediately.
Yeah, that's worse. Yeah, it would make them angrier than Doug X Roger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, that's probably super popular. I take
yeah,
that
there's probably people love negging, so. So yeah, Doug walks Patty home, and they're like, "Is this a date? I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. Who cares?" And then
they can't even say the word date, but it's clear that they both wanted it to be a date.
And so everyone apparently has been watching Doug and Patty all day because they all come out from a singular tree.
Yeah, these guys rolled a 20 on their stealth check.
Yeah, and when Doug asks what
Doug
they're...
is just oblivious.
Oh, that's possible too. He's probably looking at Patty the entire time. But when Doug asks, like, "Oh, you guys gonna make fun of me?" One of them's just like, "We want girls."
Yeah, Sky Fury says
yeah,
that.
and so Doug, I guess, gives them advice because he's a ladies' man now.
I guess that's the moral. What are we supposed to learn from this?
That young love is innocent.
That
you should hold hands on dates.
Ooh.
That it's not always clear if there's romantic interest, and you should just be straightforward and ask.
Yeah.
They kind of did that at the end, where Doug sheepishly asks her if they were on a...
It's it's wild how many animated programs just don't have people tell each other that they like each other. Do you think that led to some bad things for everyone else growing up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially in Japan.
Yeah.
But...
So we get to the second episode. This first part is very prescient, which we'll get to. So we get introduced to this mayor character. Is he supposed to be like a Bill Clinton type? I figured he was trying to do an impression, but I couldn't tell what the impression was.
I thought that was Mr. Dink for a second.
No. We get a Mr. Dink cameo, but no words spoken.
He's just looming.
Yeah, his presence is looming. But yeah, this Bill Clinton-esque mayor is very concerned about his son running for treasury of the school, and he's running against Doug
because he wants his son to be a politician like him, and the son doesn't really seem to be interested in it. What's up with this show and overbearing dads?
I think the creator had some issues.
I think that was just what it was in the 90s and 80s.
Well,
yeah, that's just how dads were in general.
Yeah, dads were just jerks, and then Gen Xers and the baby boomers mellowed out and were just over-enabling his parents, and that caused our generation to be super fucked up in its own special way.
Wow.
Interesting.
Can't wait to see what comes next.
I definitely detected some father-type issues in the writing of this show.
Yeah. Wonder if we ever get a glimpse into Roger's family life.
Oh, he has a family?
What's he just living in a shack by himself?
Oh, no, I think he's like an anime character living in an apartment by himself.
And he how does he make his money?
Ever since my brother turned into a hollow, Doug, I've been all by myself. All I have is his hair clip to remember him by.
Yeah, Doug.
Hey, funny. I'm wearing my dead brother's leather jacket.
It's bonded to his soul.
Oh, GG, Roger.
Oh,
That
so
sounds
Roger's the
interesting.
Bullbringer.
That's right. So yeah, Doug imagines that being Treasury is like gonna make him like very popular, and he's gonna be very
And 6'5",
Yeah, and, like,
several feet taller.
yeah, he's gonna come in like Homelander.
Yeah, that is a very Homelander costume he has. In this
And he's going to be very
area.
disappointed by what actually happens when you become Treasury. So I guess Willie, which is the guy running against him, he has like very George W. energy going on. He has to be reminded what to
Wow.
say, and doesn't seem to really want the position, but it lucks into it.
And people keep telling him that Al-Qaeda plans to attack the United States, but he ignores them.
And Mr. Dink,
he really wants more oil.
Mr. Dink's wife actually is the one running against the mayor, and the mayor seems nonplussed by this. I guess because
Oh, this is why I thought it was Mr. Dink, because I thought that'd be funny if his wife was running against him for his seat.
No, yeah, it's just his wife that's running against this weird mayor. And so then we get this very prescient campaign here where the media starts taking Willie's side and starts focusing strictly on Willie because of the campaigns. And poor Doug with his little, upbringing, his little, small
little spine.
Yeah, his little small upbringing here. He doesn't know what to do. Until
I would say this was prescient, except for the fact that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And
oh yeah, Doug does win, even after he falls back on his claims for Candy for All. Look, Candy for All is possible, okay? And Doug wanted Candy for All, but then he backed out because of the big candy.
Well, to be fair, if he had tried to go for Candy for All, he would have been assassinated.
Yeah,
by the school faculty.
it's true. Yeah. This is very weird. Doug. I guess the moral is that like politicians should be truthful. Sure, whatever.
Yes, this is a very end of history view of politics. There's no ideology involved whatsoever. But I mean, this is a children's cartoon, so
Yeah, I can't really fault it for that. It is odd that at the end, Skeeter's uncle wins the election.
well, that's because they had a runaway joke about them reusing Skeeter's uncle's propaganda material.
Oh, no.
Because they had the same initials, Doug.
Propaganda material is how you would frame.
I was just, in the middle of that word, and I decided to stay the course, Yeah.
So
I'm just picturing like he has some kind of poster where
There's like some communist propaganda, a guy at a train factory.
Yeah, and well, no, I understood that part. What I was concerned with is that Skeeter's uncle, who's presumably a much older person, won a school election.
I think the media just got mixed up, or maybe he did actually maybe they did write his name in on the ballot.
Yeah, he won a write-in vote. It was a sweeping landslide.
I want to see that episode now.
Yeah.
Not what we get next.
Yeah.
Also, the mayor's deposed, and he's hung at the stake.
Yeah, as he deserves.
hung at the stake.
He's hung like Mussolini off a lamppost.
Yeah. And everyone rejoices. You can tell it's unrealistic politics because a woman running a groundswell campaign actually beat the populist mayor.
While being ignored by the media.
Yeah, typical Bernie Bros. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm still with her.
Yeah, like she didn't win because the mayor was like a clearly evil guy. Where he said, I think this is a direct quote: "Fixing the roads, that's not my job. My job is to be a mayor and sit in a big chair."
Yeah, that is fucking 90s comedy at its lowest.
Yeah, that's like a C tier Simpsons joke.
Yeah, and of course the news media did not have anything to say about that, which I guess is realistic.
That part tracks. No, they were giving him the right to speak, Kyoran.
For free.
Yeah. So this next one is very strange.
Yes, we open up with some sweet DV.
Yeah.
Domestic violence.
I guess this is a strange opening because Doug says all his life he wanted to be the champion.
Which has not been...
That's not an establishing trait for Doug.
Yeah, it's
No.
anything we've seen in the last.
He's clearly just setting up a dramatic, imaginary scenario. Where
Yes, presumably this boxing match did not actually happen. It might have, though. We're not sure.
No, there's this is one of his fantasies where he's just
Oh, yes.
he's crafting a beautiful metaphor
He's got that club in love.
about wanting to be good at things. He's not fantasizing about beating Patty Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Stairmaster.
It turns out his whole thought process here is that he keeps beating Patty at games.
Which he, visualizes as him knocking her out in the boxing ring.
Okay,
one blow.
The story was that he wanted to win, but not like this.
Not against the woman that I loved, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Which, come on, Doug, you're like 12. What the fuck are you?
Listen, yeah.
It's not at all. It's not at all unusual for 12-year-olds to think that they're in deep, true love.
Yes.
Well, he's still stupid.
Patty is also a sore loser because she loses once to Doug and is already like, man, what the fuck? I lost this piece of shit.
And Doug is such a sweet, innocent, impotent child that.
Well, we don't know he's impotent.
We can infer.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
What definition of impotent do you think I'm going for? Do you think I'm judging his male virility?
I think Peter's gonna have to exercise prima noctis at the end of the series. Is what I'm saying.
Oh boy.
Oh, I'm just talking about how he lets people walk all over him and he doesn't really assert himself.
Nice reminder for Stairmaster, this is an 11-year-old child.
I guess that would be more of a Roger thing.
Calm down there, Joe Biden.
I've been held back for 7 years, dog.
But yeah, he doesn't want to, even though Patty is clearly in the wrong here, being so upset about losing. Yeah. He takes it upon himself to try to make her feel better
by doing all of the superstitions possible, and still his luck will not break. Remember, kids, superstitions useless.
This is like a really shitty episode of JoJo. When you think about when he's trying to burn off all of his luck.
I thought you were referring to Skeeter's stand.
No.
Doug also has an vision where he wins a beauty contest and starts shattering gender norms.
Oh no, it's like the best person ever contest.
Yeah.
They couldn't even give us that.
Yeah, but I guess in the end he gets Patty wins by a hair, and
she wins by accident at bowling in their rematch.
Yeah, and she's real excited about it. So no actual lesson is learned by any of the characters.
The lesson is that...
Yeah, Patty didn't learn a lesson, but the audience learned that it doesn't matter if you win, it just matters if you're a good person.
The moral here is that we must shatter the fragile walls of masculinity.
Yes. The lesson here was that it doesn't matter if you win, but winning does feel nice, doesn't it?
It feels really good to win, guys. And the winner takes it all.
That's true, yeah. That's it for Doug.
Also, no, I just wanted to add that this also got top billing on the IMDb page, I'm sure, because Doug basically confesses to Patty, saying that she's the most wonderful girl in the world.
Yeah.
Fucking IMDb users.
I guess Patty doesn't think anything of it other than, oh, what a good friend.
Yeah.
So anyway, final thoughts on Doug?
That's a middling kids show, all right.
Yeah,
brutal.
It's a kids show. It's fine. It exists.
Yeah, I regret watching this. This is shattered.
It's inoffensive. It's entertaining in some parts. It doesn't. Not all the jokes miss. They landed a couple good ones in there.
It's fine. I would give it a light tune in, I think.
I think it was pretty good by the standards of 1991 or whatever.
Considering this is the first Nicktoon, yeah, I would say it's fine.
If you're looking for like a 90s nostalgia trip, I think there's better options, but
technically Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Technically
SpongeBob.
Dexter's Lab.
Yeah, I guess. Or the first 2 seasons of Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, you can watch Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, What are we giving this?
We're actually doing this. Tune out.
I
I never want to think about Doug again.
But we're gonna watch the Doug movie.
Please don't do that to us.
Oh, fuck.
If you thought this Doug was bad, I can't even imagine what Disney's Doug was like.
All right, that's a tune out on Doug.
Oh, wow. All right.
I hate giving this old '90s kids show a tune out, but I can't recommend people to go watch this. So tune out.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. That's a tune out on Doug.
I hope you enjoyed what must be our second longest episode of TV Tuners ever.
What happened?
It's probably close. Anyway, that's it for this week's episode of the show. We'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Till then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
Hey, Doug, want to smoke some crack?
Hey folks, it's time for the Swanson fact of the week. Did you guys know that Stairmaster... Don't laugh, you're making it hard to say this.